Andy Elliott makes over $100 million a year. And today we're going to break down exactly how he's doing that using social media so that you can replicate it, do it for yourself, and make some money this year. I had the fortunate experience when I was in Las Vegas with Brad Lee to speak with Andy one-on-one. He came to do the Revolution call, and he was hanging out with his family to go on vacation. So I had the experience, not in a room full of 600 people where you pay $2,000 to go to his live event, but to be one-on-one, for free, peer-to-peer, hanging out with Andy. So I get to see a little bit more of the behind-the-scenes type work. I also have the experience of working with some of his team members on posters, PDFs, YouTube thumbnails to help generate more traffic for Andy's groups and his clients. We're talking about the B2C side of Andy's business. He does a lot of B2B things, but the B2C business to consumer side is where he generates a lot of his audience from on social media. We're not pushing it off into the B2B world. Okay, so if we start with his Instagram, he has 2.4 million followers with a 1.16% engagement rate, which is pretty low. How many of these followers are bought? I'm not really sure. I didn't dig into it. On his TikTok, he has 621,000 followers. On his YouTube, he has 802,000 followers. And on his Facebook, he has 451,000 followers. And the question that you have to ask yourself is, if you have so many followers, where do you post them and how do you monetize? Well, when you create a piece of content, generally speaking, if you want to push them anywhere, you're going to push them to your link in the bio. So if you look at this creator's link in the bio, across all of his platforms, number one, it's different, which is one of my only critiques about Andy, is there's so much sporadic nature to all the things that he's doing with all the different funnels that he has going on. It's kind of confusing to see where he really wants people. But to say the least, he makes more money than me, so I'm sure he's doing something correct. On his Instagram, you see this link, which opens up a 4-part link series where it would take us to something like his Facebook profile, a mastermind with Tony Robbins, My Manager, which is this funnel right here, or finally a link tree, which is one of his 2 link trees that he has. Now, he hosts this one on Instagram, which again branches off into so many different products, it's confusing, but there's another link tree right here too, which we'll get into in a second. Starting with this link tree, we have Andy Elliott's A to Z $100 million business building. We have Andy Elliott and Patrick McDavid work with me one-on-one, which takes us to a one-on-one Calendly with Danny, which, by the way, I actually met Danny at Gary Cardone's party, which was kind of cool. What an incredible guy. Danny, if you're watching this, I love all your stuff, dude. Take Andy's sales training course, get my fitness program, join Bradley and Andy Elliott, which is the Revolution. I got to actually be there in person for this. This is what the front page of that funnel looks like. It's $300 a month, I believe. It's pretty cool to watch him do that in person, and they do it in the Drop and Bomb studio, or they do that over a Zoom call, depending on where Andy and Brad are at the time. Then we have join Andy Elliott's Solar Team, which is this funnel over here, right here, partnered with Bright. And then we finally have podcasts with Andy Elliott and sell more cars with this tool. Now, the Andy Elliott's A to Z $100 million business building program brought me to a 401 error page, which is not that good. But to say the least, these are the options as far as the products that he's selling and pitching off of the link tree. Now, if we go over to his TikTok, the link takes us to a free book funnel. It's a big headline with an attention bar, a VSL that takes us down to a free book funnel. Now, if you guys know anything about book funnels, usually you say the book's free and you charge and you upcharge for the shipping and handling to make it seem like it's the seller's fault for actually having shipping and handling. It's free, but you just have to pay $15 of shipping and handling. And for most people, this is a good model. Now, I don't know if this is a lead generator for Andy, how many leads are coming in through this, but it's a 2-step checkout process. This is a ClickFunnels form, I believe, and it probably brings you to a couple click upsells after you actually check out. I didn't check out, so I don't know. But it's probably an inner circle invitation or one of his live events, or he's pushing you into an email drip campaign. Whatever it is, there's probably some type of action that is taken after you go through this. On his YouTube, there's several links. There is the subscribe for daily training. I would remove that because personally, I would push one link, like I said, is his website. I would push this website above everything else. And by the way, we're going to get into the collaboration that Andy has done with Brad on the interactive training system, which I think is incredible, in a second. But there's also his Instagram, his LinkedIn, his Facebook, and then get the free book, which is the book funnel. I would get rid of all of it. I would even get rid of the link tree, and I'll push everyone to this website. But I digress. Andy has this link tree set up just like he has on his Facebook, which if you go to his Facebook page, he has the link tree right here, which takes us to this big long link tree. This actually kind of looks pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. The images are cool, but Andy uses this photo in basically all of his posters that he's selling for the most part. Like this one right here. I would remove that and I would do something else. This is his collaboration with Hostage, which if you don't know, it's the mouth tape that Andy's been wearing and promoting. But yeah, The first link in his link tree is the Hostage Challenge. Then he has a sales school. He has the Go Warrior. Then he has the Revolution with Brad Lee. The Elliott Army, Join My Team, which is one of the opportunities that he pitches to people, which is the live events, essentially. You go there and you get trained and you learn. And by the way, you have to spend money. So just keep in mind that this stuff isn't free. 9 skills and then 9-figure social media training, which is a free course. And then his solar company, joining that company, which I would put this link under here, because if it's one of his companies, he's hiring, so that's the hiring link. And if it were me, I would just get rid of the link tree. It just confuses people. If you have 1 million people go to a link tree, most of them don't know what button to click. No one's telling them what button to click, so they're going to click off because they're confused, and they have to do other things like scroll through TikTok aimlessly until their brain dries out. But let's look at some of the funnels that he has. This is his Iron Build fitness program that he hasn't really launched yet. I think the funnel looks good. This is one of the people on the Andy team. I've definitely seen him in some of the videos. He's jacked, so it's definitely a good case study. If you scroll down, you can see some of the work that he's done with other people, his wife, and some other case studies that he has flipping through there. So that's one of his funnels. Then he has the Let's Go to War in 2024 funnel. I'm not really sure what this is, but I don't know if looks like the most professional thing that Andy has. This mock-up, I would put this somewhere else, or I would just either have a mock-up or have a VSL. I wouldn't have both. Or if I had the mock-up, I would push it way below the VSL. I would go, let's go to war, zoom that up, have the VSL, have the button. Below that, describe what's going on. I don't remember there being much of a description as to what was going on. I didn't watch the VSL, unfortunately. But yeah, this is like just a little bit too confusing. It just doesn't look world-class. Scroll over here, Sales School. I know for a fact that Sales School looks professional. They have a great background video. The VSL's really, really sharp. There's instant access right here. The logo looks clean. This all around is an amazing funnel that Andy is pushing people to. He has the Revolution with Brad Lee. And in my personal opinion, this funnel needed some actual work. And I know that because I talked to Brad about it. And Brad and I have worked extensively on some of his funnels, like the Real Coaching funnel, just to say the least. And so I would say this could use a revamp for sure. There's a cool little video that plays. This big Revolution logo pops up, and there's a video in Brad's office of Andy and Brad dapping up, and there's a montage. That's kind of cool. If you scroll down the page, it just looks a little amateur. That's all I have to say. Then we have the Bright and Elliott Group collaboration. I don't really know much about this. I know some of my friends actually went to the Elliott Academy, and they were signing up for the solar thing. So I think that it's, in my personal opinion, the people that I know that have gone there never got paid. They closed a bunch of deals. They never got paid to work in this company. That's definitely besides the point, but I want to put that out there because the people that I sent to Andy went into his companies, not like I think it was Bright or it was one of the clients that he had, one of their companies. They didn't get paid for the deals that they were closing, and neither did the managers, and there's a whole ongoing thing about that. Then he has the Andy Elliott and Patrick Bet David, the Business Battleground. Now, this is cool. I love PBD, and I love Andy and PBD together. This is a very, very much go high-level ClickFunnels, sales-oriented funnel. I don't know if it works. I think it's very busy. I think that there's too many attention bars. I think that you could clean it up really nicely. People know who PBD is, and people know who Andy are. Like, there doesn't need to be like all this rah-rah stuff, or you just play a cool little montage video. I think it's cool. And then it pushes you down to the actual page. Now, I didn't include the checkout for all of these different funnels because it just seems extensive, but this one I did want to include because this product is $20,000 on the low end and $30,000 on the high end. And for the funnel that they're running it, I don't know if it converts. Just genuinely, there might be a great reputation between the clientele that are buying this and Andy, but if I were just to make an assumption off of the funnel, I never knew who Andy was, I definitely wouldn't just drop $20,000 on a ClickFunnels checkout form, 2-page checkout form for a product. Just if I didn't know who these guys were and this was a cold audience I'm talking about. Then we have his Inner Circle product. This is another one where I wanted to include the price because this one goes up to $75,000. There's a $50,000 one, all the way down to $1,500 and $500. So the Inner Circle definitely has some options as far as how much money you're willing to spend. But if you look at underneath the description of what the Inner Circle is, I don't really know. I'm assuming that there's some private one-on-ones, like it says with Andy. I don't know if Andy's coming in and fixing your business for $75,000. I don't really know what is included. I probably should have looked better at the Inner Circle funnel itself. We come over here to the Elliott Group, the Project 500. Again, another one of his funnels. Then we have the Closer Summit, which has its own unique logo, which almost makes it seem like this is a totally different company, even though it's underneath the Elliott Group. This product is $2,000. And there's a higher package, which is $6,000, and a super high ticket, which is $7,000. And then finally, we have the last couple, which is the 9-figure social media training. And we have the couples retreat thing with his wife. And then this 25 years of proven strategies to surge any commission check overnight. By the way, out of all the funnels I just reviewed, this by far is my favorite looking funnel. It's well branded under the Elliott Group. It's very clean. There's minimal text. The attention bar is attention grabbing, but not just attention throwing it down your actual throat. And it's just clean. I think Andy crushed it with this funnel. If he branded all these other products underneath this type of funnel, there would be a lot more consistency across the company. And I think that maybe that would increase conversions. Now, that's all through his social media page. We have all that stuff going on just in his social media alone. But let's look at his website. And this is where I want to talk about what Lightspeed is and how Brad and Andy have actually collaborated to create what is known as an interactive training system. So Bradley, 26 years ago, saw that of all the trainers in the world, Zig Ziglar, Tony Robbins, all these guys, Grant Cardone, were going around door to door, event to event, just training and pitching people. And so Brad figured that he was going to create an online platform where you could interact with the actual video. Meaning, if you see a video that pops up and says, hey, what are you doing today? There's going to be two little things that pop up next to you. I'm doing nothing, or I'm going out and I'm making some money. And you click it, and it changes the course of the video itself. And you could actually create an interactive course based on the personality types that are taking the course or whatever, whoever's consuming it, to make the course more engaging and interactive. Only software that exists like it. He has competitors like Kajabi and all this stuff. But a lot of the creators that you know, all the sales trainers that you know, are on Lightspeed. And if you're not on it, I would say, in my personal endorsement, I have no affiliation with Lightspeed. I have no sponsorship by Lightspeed. I just love Brad and I love his product. So check it out. But Andy is one of his clients. So Andy's Sales Academy, and I've actually been on the inside of this. I'm not going to show you the inside of it because you got to pay for it, obviously, and it would just be giving away the secrets. But the Sales Academy, the interactive training system, there's so much content in there. It's insane. I remember one morning I walked into the office with Brad Lee, who owns Lightspeed, and I logged into the portal, and I'm like, dude, look at Andy's thing. And there was just module after module after module, videos after video after video. And the one consensus we came to is Andy is incredibly good at popping out funnels that you couldn't imagine, popping out content that you couldn't believe. The only problem is the organization and the overall design aesthetic and adhering to one specific brand. It just seems like there's a bunch of different brands going on, even though it's all the Elliott Group. So that's my only critique for Andy Elliott. If you're watching this, I love your stuff, dude. I definitely don't want to talk badly about you. But anyway, inside of Lightspeed, and inside of his Elliott Training Academy, that's where you're basically getting all these courses and where all of it's pushing to. But this is his website. So he has two basic options, and this is also where Andy Elliott makes a lot of his money on the B2C side, is his live events. Like I told you earlier, I had some of my friends join his company, but before they did that, they actually went in person to Scottsdale, to the headquarters, and actually had the in-person event experience. One of them did like the live workout with Andy, like saw 300 to 400 people there all working out with Andy Elliott, raw, super high hype sales stuff. And that works for young kids who don't really have much direction or mentorship in their life and are teachable and coachable. That converts pretty high. I've seen prices for those events, $2,000, $1,500. You can obviously get discounts if you're talking to sales reps, but that drives a lot of traffic. And underneath the website, you can see that the next event is July 27th. Then he goes August 10th and September 15th. And it's just back to back to back with a countdown clock and everything. You can go in here and you can buy your tickets. The Business Battleground, that's the PBD and Andy Elliott one, by the way, which I told you was like $20,000. Yeah. And then on the other side, it's just his products. This is just, if you go to his website and you click training courses, this is going to be all the content that is inside of Lightspeed, which is pretty cool. You click this, you get access, you go to Lightspeed. And then you go to the interactive parts of the videos. It's a cool system. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy this video. Now, what I would say for you, if you're trying to replicate this, is make content and make a lot of it. I mean, Andy Elliott on some of his platforms like YouTube, for instance, he has over 3,000 videos posted. And for you guys out there that say you need to work for perfect conditions and wait for perfect conditions, let's just assume that you need 1,000 videos before you actually get noticed. 1,000 videos. If you wait a year to post one video and then you post one video every week, 52 weeks in a year, and you need 1,000 videos to be successful, you're going to be waiting a long time before you ever see any money coming in. The faster you start and the faster you post content, I mean, if you look at Andy Elliott's thumbnails, they're not the best. I'll be honest. Out of all the people online in the business space, he does not have the best thumbnails. Some of his content gets clipped early. Some of it isn't cut right. The point being is Andy pushes out content like a madman. Grant Cardone pushes out content like a madman. And even if you don't have a team behind you, doing the best that you can to make videos go out consistently with as much production quality that you could possibly afford is going to allow you to get started and see money rolling in. Now, the whole entire idea that I want to take away is the clutter. Remove all the clutter, figure out an offer that you can push people to in the beginning, push them all to one page, make it very simple so that people don't have to confuse themselves and figure out where they need to go, where they need to land, what they need to click, what they need to buy, which one's good, which one's bad. Figure it out, plan it out, make it very simple for people to understand, and make call to actions in your videos. Something cool that I pick up on Andy's content on his YouTube long form, he'll have a segment inside of his podcast. Hey, if you need some help, Andy Elliott here, text me at this number. I started implementing that in my videos. Matter of fact, just before we end out, if you need help and you want me to build you a funnel, 315-767-3199, 315-767-3199. Call me, text me any time of day. I'll answer your questions immediately. I'll see you guys later. Peace.